I'm gonna open it up here and see.
All right.
Hello!
So, we'll wait because obviously we just started. Give it a few minutes to get geared up here.
How do I do it? How do I find it? I wonder. OG.
It's my first time going live on Facebook, so very exciting.
Hey, there she is.
It says I have one viewer. It's probably my husband, Kyle. Oh.
Brooklyn's on.
Oh, we have two people. Hello.
Brenda's on.
Hello. Hiya, Brenda. Hi, Brooklyn. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's pretty exciting. You guys are totally gonna hear my daughter running around. She is here playing as well as my son. Hi, Val. Yeah. So we'll give it a few minutes just to let some people hop on, work out some audio stuff, make sure everyone can hear. Then we're gonna start painting. Hi, Jessie.
Jessie's on, is she?
Yeah. My lovely husband, Kyle Grady, is here to help me. He is currently working
you
computers.
can see the chat? Oh, good. Excellent.
Yeah, so for those joining on, we're gonna do a Q&A as well as a live painting to celebrate 100 likes on our Facebook page. So exciting. So if you have any questions, ask them in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on it as well as Kyle will be. There's Ayla. Oh, here she comes. This is my daughter.
Look. You want to get down? Look, you're on Mommy's phone. There's people talking. Can
you say hi, world?
Can you say hi?
I will.
Mwah.
She's gone. Gone.
Cool.
So, I'd say we'll get started in probably about
2 minutes.
2, 3, 4 minutes, give or take. Have my coffee. Hi, Nina. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you so much. So we're just waiting for a few more people to hop on before we start painting. Let me know if there's any audio issues or if there's anything different you want to see. Here's my son. This is Isaac.
Look.
He always looks the opposite of the camera.
Look. Camera's that way.
See, if you turn him around, he'll just look the other way.
There he is.
Hi, Sandra. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you. This is the first time I have been wearing makeup since COVID started. Ayla, we don't touch the blinds, baby. Oh gosh, this is chaos. Hi, Amanda. Yes, this is the first time I've done my makeup since COVID started. Very excited about that.
Any kiss?
No.
Okay, so I'd say, did you share it on my Facebook and stuff, Kyle?
I'll do all that stuff.
Okay, Kyle's gonna start sharing it, make sure people can see it. Hi, Nikita. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna start painting soon. I'm just gonna start getting my colors ready. So today we're painting, it's kind of a bit of an abstract art. So we're gonna do a double moon and a waterscape with some trees. Hi, Cindy. Oh, hi, Segra and Autumn. I'm so glad you're watching. Oh, I keep getting prettier. Thank you. I'll take that comment. So yeah, we're doing kind of an abstract moon. It makes me think of Star Wars a little bit. So we're gonna see, we're gonna play around with it, something a little loose. If there's anything you wanna see, let me know. We got a bunch of different colors. Today I'm going to be using liquid watercolor paints. It's a mixture of Dr. P.H. Martin and Dandelion Paint Co. Yeah, we're going to be using black, pine green, violet, azure blue, burnt orange, amber yellow, and deep yellow. Lots of different colors. So I'm just going to start getting my palette ready here. I use a butcher tray. It's just like a ceramic tray. It helps make mixing easier.
Is it out of frame? Should you angle it so you can see the palette?
It is out of frame, but it's hard to get it into frame.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Aniley. Thanks for watching. So yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of watercolor paint. I used to think that watercolor was only those like Crayola pan ones, you know, the circle ones that you used when you were in school. But there's lots of different types. So I love you too. So I found out about liquid watercolor from a group called Let's Make Art. And that's where I really started doing watercolor from, was them. I ordered a kit online and just kind of hopped in and started going. Liquid watercolor is really cool. It's super vibrant compared to like your pans or your tube paints. It's very cool. We are not in St. John's anymore. No, we are in California, which is kind of crazy. I even have my California Dreamin' coffee mug here. Hello, Elaine. Thank you for tuning in. So right now I'm just setting up my palette, getting my colors ready. Kind of giving some people some time to hop on because we've only been live for a couple minutes now. You haven't missed much if you're just hopping on. Yeah. All right, so just to recap, we're doing a kind of more abstract painting today. There is a double moon with a waterscape and some trees in the background, so it should be pretty cool. Hey, Lindsay, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna try to give as many shout outs as possible. I think my son is currently turning on Roomba, so Kyle's gone to take care of that. All right, so I've also got a couple different size brushes you'll see me pick up and use. I actually had Amanda ask me what kind of brushes I use, so I figured I should share that with you. Right now, I've been using Princeton Heritage 4050 rounds. So these are round brushes, if you want to know. The idea behind them is that they are literally round. That's the whole point, they're round. They also have a very fine point on them, so you can do detail work with them, you can do big fat brush strokes. There's a bunch of different types of strokes you can do with this type of brush, which is really cool. Thank you for loving my dress. I also love it. It's very bright and happy. So, all right, let's start painting. So I'm gonna start by doing the moons. I have them outlined in watercolor pencil. And the cool thing about watercolor pencil is that once I start painting with the water, it will disappear. So you won't get any of those weird paint lines, which is really cool. Weird pencil lines, I should say. All right, let's start. So, and again, Kyle is moderating the comments. So if there's any questions you have, anything you want to know, just let me know. Any issues? Let's start. So I'm gonna start by actually just outlining my first moon in water. This creates a really cool effect when you're painting because the water just kind of moves and blends all on its own. It's one of the things that I really actually like about watercolor is that it's very alive. It's very fluid because it's watercolor. So this first one we're going to do a little bit brighter. So I'm going to be doing a bit of orange and yellow and just kind of playing with it and letting it do its own thing. And we'll just go from there. I'll do a little bit of a darker in there as well, kind of create this cool sort of effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi Hillary, hi Darcy, hi Pam. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So we're currently just hopping right in. So yeah, for those of you that are just tuning in, this is in celebration to our 100 Facebook likes, which is really cool. Hi Aiden, get back to work. Work.
Aiden, get to work.
This is my husband, Kyle Grady. He's here doing moderation of the comments and gonna ask your questions, stuff like that. So, like I said, we're using liquid watercolors. They're super vibrant. We're using Canson watercolor paper. And the reason why we're using Canson is because it's honestly super cheap. That's why I use it. It's a pretty good quality. It does have a problem with kind of bleeding or blooming, if you want to call it. But I find it really good. It's like $5 on Amazon for a sheet of 30 pages, and that's amazing. I think Arch's watercolor paper, which is a bit of higher quality, is like $30 for 12 or something like that. And I think nobody got time for that. Yeah, I'm excited to see the finished project too. This is my first time ever painting anything like this one, so it's gonna be kind of cool. So right now I'm just giving my painting a little bit of time to dry, because with watercolor, if you work over an area that's drying, you'll end up with these kind of uneven drying, and it gets blooms and does some sort of weird stuff. Also too, I don't want my one moon to bleed into the other moon, which is why I'm giving it just that little bit of time to dry before I hop on in and do this other moon. One of the things I'm going to be doing with this too is playing around with color theory. So with colors, to make like a good composition, you want to have colors that are opposite on the color wheel. This is kind of what I've been studying lately. So I think, is my color wheel in there, Carl?
I'm going for it.
There it is, look. Okay. So yeah, so this is my color wheel. It's a very handy thing to have. I use it all the time. And they're gonna talk about like complementary colors. So these colors look good together. And they're ones that you're probably pretty familiar with, like blue and orange are complementary colors. Red and green, yellow and like violet or purple are complementary colors. So in this case, I'm doing a yellow and orange moon, and in the back, I'm gonna be doing a purple and orange moon to just create some contrast, as well as a blue waterscape. The trees I'm gonna be doing are gonna be green, which is gonna go really well with that orange and purple and blue. Just tends to be compositionally quite nice. So we're gonna hop on in and start this other moon, and I'm gonna do the same technique where I just lay down a bunch of water, and I'm actually gonna switch to a bigger brush. So this is a round 10. Brushes are just named by size, by number. Like it goes from, I have a 3/0 to or a 0/3, 3/0 to a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The bigger the brush, the more water it holds. So you get more coverage, which is handy for doing these like really quick coverage things where you want to have the water really active. Okay. So I'm going to hop back in here with my 6, and we're going to do some violet, which is one of my favorite colors. I just love how vibrant this is. And the technique I'm doing is called wet on wet. And it's literally just taking paint and dropping it in and letting it mix on its own. The whole idea with this is that you don't overwork it. You don't mess with it a lot. You let it do its own thing. The more you work it, the muddier it'll get. And we don't want that. We just want it to be What is he doing?
He's waving.
Is he waving?
Say hi to the people. Whoa!
Hi, Veronica. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Nick. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're just playing. Another thing I might do is I might actually go grab some salt. Have you guys ever seen salt and watercolor before? Hi. Hey, Sherry. Kylie, ready? Can you grab me the salt shaker?
Like salt, like food salt?
Yeah, like food salt.
What is that switch for?
Once COVID is over, you can come visit him. Okay, so yeah, this is table salt. So table salt creates a really cool texture when you're painting because it absorbs some of it. So I'm going to use it on this back moon to kind of just add a little bit of texture to the painting. And that's it. And I'm just going to let that dry and not touch it anymore. All right. So now here comes the fun part of watercolor painting when we wait for things to dry. So does anyone have any questions, or is there anything you guys want to know while we're kind of here waiting? I know, Amanda, you did ask about the brushes, so I'll just go over that again real quick for those who are just tuning on. So I use Princeton Heritage round brushes. These are synthetic brushes because brushes can be made of a bunch of different things, like animal hair, all this kind of stuff. These are synthetic. And the round just refers to the shape. So when you look at it, you can see it's a round tip. The nice thing about the rounds is that it has a fine tip on it, as well as a big barrel body to the brush. So the cool thing about it is that you can do really fine details with a big old brush like this, or you can do really thick lines. It's really fun for doing leaves, flowers, petals, stems, things like that. It's really cool. Thank you, Lindsay. The truth is, the paint does a lot of it for you. It's really cool. And I've been practicing a lot, to the point where I've actually hurt my arm. So shout out to Sky for giving me physiotherapy lessons. If you look, I currently have a huge X taped on my back to help improve my posture so I can paint more. Yeah. So right now I'm just gonna let this dry a little bit. I've left a bit of a white space here, and the whole point of that is just so it doesn't touch my other moon. I'm gonna kind of try to blend that in a little bit before it dries too much, just so I don't get a really harsh edge. Dab a little purple in there. Isn't this purple beautiful? A little bit more. Yeah. That's the cool thing about all this this COVID stuff right now, is that there is so much online things. Like my yoga instructor is now online. I'm very excited. And it's honestly what's given me a chance to kind of get into all this. And all right. Hi, Aunt Belle. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Eva.
You want to get up and look?
This is my daughter. She's here to help. Yeah.
You gonna help? Maybe we can paint later.
You want to help me paint later?
Oh, you dropped her off.
She'll be on later to help.
You don't want a giraffe? All right, let's go watch your movie. Let's go.
All right, so now I'm gonna hop on and I'm going to start the water. For this one, I'm doing Azure Blue, and I'm gonna really play around with this and let it like drip and kind of just do its own thing. So let's just jump in. Let's start. Oh, I just dropped a big water drop on my paper. Also, cool thing about watercolor is that paper towel is like an eraser. So if you've watched any of my time lapses, you'll see me use paper towel all the time. And you can create some really cool cloud effects with it. And it literally, it erases any water drops or anything you have. So right now I'm just loading this area up with water so that way I can just let the watercolor do its work. And I do have a little bit of bleeding happening here from the different colors, but that's okay. So we're hopping out some azure blue.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong, little man?
Oops. Dad's on it. So I'm gonna take a little bit of black and mix in with that to kind of darken this skyline a bit. Because with painting, a lot of it is creating perspective, and you do that by using different values of a color. You can really create a lot of texture with just water. What are my favorite things to paint right now? Right now, I've been obsessed with bugs, much to the chagrin of my mother. She does not want me to just be constantly painting bugs, but I can't help it. Flowers in particular. I have been out taking tons of photos with my new macro lens of a bunch of different flowers around my neighborhood because everything's in bloom right now. So the other thing I'm doing right now is I'm just dropping water drops into the painting and then letting it drip. And it creates a really cool kind of drippy effect. So I'm just gonna literally drop water in and then hit it off the table, and you're gonna see the water move. And it really creates kind of a really cool textures. So, sorry if that's loud to anyone who's listening, I apologize. There we go. So we'll let that kind of dry a little bit, and then we're gonna go in and add some more textures in that as we go. Add some more drops in. Blend these few little ones out because I don't want such a harsh line there. It looks a little weird. So yeah, as for what I'm painting right now, it is a little bit of mixture of everything. I'm still subscribed to the Let's Make Art. Hi Andrew. Let's Make Art group, and they release tutorials every week, and that's what I've been doing a lot of. They're super helpful for figuring out and trying new things. I'm currently working on a sloth, very cute. Right now we're just waiting for paint to dry. So you're literally watching me watch paint dry. Kyle, bring Isaac out. I might as well give you a baby to look at while we're all waiting. Here he is!
Hi, everybody! Hi! Hey, camera. Look.
Yeah, some other questions I've had asked, people have messaged me privately and asked, are things like, how did I get started? So I started in January. Not that long ago, honestly. And I started with a Facebook ad. Facebook got me for Let's Make Art. I just jumped in, ordered a kit, painted a bumblebee, and then became hooked. And from there, I just started doing tutorials after tutorial after tutorial, and then I started branching out and doing some of my own art because I kind of wanted a little bit more of a challenge to try something new. So I kind of hopped on there and did that. And yeah, so that's how I got started. And I haven't been doing it that long, but I've literally been painting every single day since starting, which is a lot of painting. So again, anyone just hopping on, please ask any questions you have, anything you want to know. If there's anything you want to see, just let me know.
Audie is watching Isaac and laughing.
Oh, is she? Michael would like to know when we will see a portrait of the gorgeous Kyle. I don't know if I can capture his beauty accurately. I need more time, more practice. It's
Just take a screenshot right now.
go. See?
All right.
I'm painting him. Oh my. His vanity knows no bounds. All right, so I think that this is dried enough for me to hop in and do some more. So right now I'm gonna touch up some of these lines because in order to avoid the paint from bleeding one into the other, I've kind of been leaving white spaces in between everything. So now I'm gonna go in and touch that up. Now that it's dried a bit more, I'm probably gonna get some blooms, but I'm okay with that. I really like the texture that creates. Also, trying to paint a straight line is really hard. The inspiration from this actually used painter's tape, and I am so jealous of it. I looked everywhere for painter's tape, but we don't have any in the house, and I don't have time to Amazon it, so. The other cool thing I've discovered since I started painting is that a dry watercolor paintbrush creates a really cool texture. If anyone's watched my Droopy Palm time lapse of the fence, I actually used a dry paintbrush to achieve that kind of fibery look to the wood. It's something I've been playing with myself, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. So I'm kind of using it here now just to create some texture here, something just like some visual interest, some swoops and different things, just to make it a little bit more interesting to look at. Hello, Paula. All right, so I wonder if I should wait a bit longer before I hop in and do trees. Might be a terrible idea. It might not be dry enough.
Want to look at the baby again?
Sure. Would you guys like to look at the baby again while we're waiting for paint to dry?
During paint drying breaks, we can look at the youngster. Look at me! I'm a baby! I'm no baby. I'm 7 months old.
Almost 8 months old, aren't you, kiddo?
Look at me go! I get Ayla, but she might get cranky. She's kind of into Finding Dory at the moment. Whoa! Whoa!
All the hearts start coming in as soon as Isaac comes on. He is a sweetheart. He's such a good kid. He slept throughout the night for the first night last night. This is my other girl.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
We're interrupting Finding Dory. Wow! You're no baby. You're no baby. You're no baby. Wanna walk yourself?
Oh, she wants to walk herself. How dare you, Daddy? All right, so we're gonna hop in and start doing some trees. So a cool way to create perspective with trees is to do the ones in the back a lighter color. Watercolor is really cool because I'm kind of only used to acrylic, and with acrylic you change colors and shades by adding white or black. So, but in watercolor, there's no white paint really. Like you use water as a paint color. So to create the illusion of depth, you create the ones in the back a lighter color and then move darker and more detailed as you move forward. So what I'm gonna start with is a really watered down green with a little bit of black, just to kind of just gray it out a little bit. And I'm gonna start by just adding some straight lines and then little dashes. And if any of the videos, like the one I did of the Harbor Grace, all that was, not Harbor Grace, sorry, Harbor Breton, was all done with these trees were all done this way by just adding a line and little kind of dots. And the weird thing about your brain is that your brain wants to make patterns out of everything. So you have to be really careful not to just do the same shape over and over and over again, or the same size, because all trees in nature are different sizes and shapes, and nothing is, 100% the same. So you got to kind of make sure that you pay attention and not create the same shape over and over and over again. And where this is such an abstract painting, I don't really have to pay close attention to the details. It can kind of just be the illusion of a tree. It doesn't have to be... I actually read something or heard it somewhere that painting isn't exactly replicating life. You're creating an illusion of life, which I thought was really cool. So I'm not trying to paint what I see. I'm trying to paint an illusion of what I see, which is a subtle difference, but when you're painting, there's this temptation to try to get every detail correct and capture every individual leaf and every individual aspect of a painting, but that's impossible. It becomes too daunting, like you don't even want to start. But if you're just painting an illusion, you can play around with shadows and light, and you don't have to worry so much about those details. So now I'm going to hop in here with a little bit of a darker, this is a pine green. It's kind of a really cool color green. And by cool, I mean like not like, hey, cool. I mean like cool as in the color wheel cool, like the blue side of green. And I'm just going over these trees, and this one will look automatically closer towards you because of that difference. You see it in mountains all the time. Like if you look at mountains, the furthest mountains away will be a lighter color, and then as you get closer, they'll become darker. Hello, Ayla.
It's not plugged blind. Can't get up.
Do you have any questions for me, Kyla Grady? Anything you want to know?
What are you going to do for the background? Or is that spoilers?
There's going to be no background.
Nice.
It's actually just going to stay white. I thought about doing it, but I think it's more fun if we just leave it like this. Just going to fill in this white space with some trees. Yeah, doesn't this feel like a bit like Star Wars-y? That's the kind of vibe I got when I was brainstorming it. Does anyone have any ideas of what they would like to name these moons? I feel like they need names. Tatooine or whatever that. Hi, Chris. Yeah, so where'd my color wheel go? Can you pass me that color wheel, please, Kyle? So, yeah, colors are interesting. They're divided into warm and cool colors. So if you look at the color wheel here, the ones on this side here, like your reds and yellows, these are all your warm colors. And when you think about it, they're like sunshine colors, right? These ones over here are considered your cooler colors. And when you're doing a painting, cool and warm colors, you don't want to have a painting that's all warm colors, because otherwise it's kind of offensive to the eye. But you also don't want to have it be all cool colors, so that creates a tone or a feeling. Like a painting that's all cool colors will end up feeling kind of more sad or more dark. And you can kind of mix it up. Like if you have a really dark painting that's a lot of blues, greens, adding some of those brighter reds and oranges will add a really cool pop to your painting, and it'll create like a lot of visual interest. Visual interest is what makes you stop and go, ooh, what's that? So yeah, that's why I did the moons in orange and really bright colors, because they're popping against that blue background and that. So I'm gonna go in now with a black and do some, probably gonna mix a bit of black and pine green. I should name the moons Nina and Brian. Which, is Brian the bigger one? Maybe I shouldn't say that about my father-in-law. I feel like I'll get in trouble. So one of the hardest things about watercolor is learning how much water you need on your brush. Too much water and you'll end up getting these weird droppy blobs in your paintings. Not enough water and your lines will become jagged. They won't be smooth. Hi Brenda, thanks for tuning in. So the trees I'm painting now are going to be the darkest in value, so the darkest in color, and they're going to appear the closest to us. And I like kind of creating this layered effect because it just gives a bit of depth. And again, it adds visual interest. I might go in after, I think, with some black, and I'm gonna add some like little shrubs and other things to kind of make this feel a little bit more full. Nina is the big, bold, vibrant moon. That's about right, yes. Big, bold, and vibrant is definitely Nina O'Grady. Hey Meg, thanks for tuning in. So once this moon finishes drying, I will we'll take the salt off and you'll see the kind of cool effect it creates. I never knew about playing with salt until I was watching a Let's Make Art tutorial, and I thought it was really cool. Very fun. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go in with almost a pure black and do some almost just black trees with a little bit of green. Oh, hi Cole. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen you. This is fun, isn't it? The camera's backwards because you appear left-handed. Of course, Matt, you would notice that I look left-handed. It's a Matt O'Grady thing to notice. I absolutely love making trees this way. It's almost relaxing to fill in all the space. Oh, I miss you guys too. Although I don't miss the Newfoundland weather, I can tell you that. I heard you guys had snow. You can keep that. It's like 31 degrees here right now. It's kind of beautiful. I think I might, so in the tutorial, in what inspired this, I put birds in. Do you think I should put some birds in?
Yeah, sure.
I think it'd be kind of cool, hey?
Might fill in some space up in the corners too.
Yeah, well I'm thinking about having them come across this moon here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi Tanner. Oh, hi Mom and Dad. Thanks for watching. My parents are watching. They're so supportive. Thank you. We're just currently doing more trees. Just filling in space, adding texture. I think I'm just gonna do some little shrubs, little dots here to kind of.
And they'll be our little secret.
They'll be all so they're happy mistakes. We're just Bob Rossing up in here, guys. You might hear screams again. That's my daughter.
What are you saying? Hey.
There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. They're talking to you now. They're saying hi, Kyle.
What are they saying?
All right, we'll do some birds. We will. I'm gonna finish by adding more shrubbery in. I I hear crying.
Here, Isaac.
Someone is crying. There's usually someone crying in this house, to be honest. It's the joy of having two under the age of 3. The kids are my cheerleaders. I remember one of the first paintings I did was a bumblebee, and Ayla told me it was very pretty. And I literally almost cried. I couldn't believe that she said it. She's like, it's very pretty, Mom. And I was like, oh, my soul. So right now I'm just adding some little like kind of dots and different things to kind of help break up some of this horizon, because it feels a bit, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? It feels too rigid. Not enough life in it. So we're gonna change that by breaking up that straight line a bit. Maybe this is a water planet, and to me that just feels a bit, I think I need a tree here. It's a happy little tree for all you Bob Ross fans.
It's our little secret.
You want a llama pillar? Okay, did anyone see the llama pillar I did? It was terrifying. So because I've got a little bit of tendonitis, like nerve impingement in my arm, I have to be careful when I paint too much. So my friend Jessie and I did a FaceTime painting date, and I was painting with my left hand and just completely doing whatever. And I ended up painting what might be the most terrifying creature I've ever painted in my life. It would look like some sort of mix between a llama and a caterpillar, hence the llama pillar. And I actually am thinking about turning him into some sort of children's story, because he's so funny. Because I've always wanted to do a children's story or something. I've been working on a couple different things, but I'm kind of waiting to get a little bit better before I dive into that. Knitter's elbow, yes, very similar. It just makes me feel old when I can't do things. My elbow hurts and my arm hurts. Shout out to all you tendonitis sufferers. Okay, so let's add some birds. I'll show you guys the progress so far. So this is where we're at with it. Very cool, hey. So for the birds, I'm gonna what colors should we do? I think black will probably just be the best. I'm gonna use a smaller brush because I kind of want these to be small birds. Thank you. My current children's story idea is, it's actually based off a painting I did a little while ago of 2 sheep sitting on the moon. And I was thinking of playing around with the rhyme, like 2 little sheep who cannot sleep. You know, that's kind of cute, right? Also, I feel like I have enough experience reading children's stories now that I could write one myself. So I'm using a very small, thin brush. This is a 3/0 round brush to do these birds because I really want a fine line. So, and to do them, it's literally just going to be little V shapes. I have to brush some salt off.
Oh, screaming kid.
Yeah, there are lots of screaming youngsters in this. Someone is usually screaming. Everyone seems to want a children's story. Well, maybe I will, maybe that'll be my next project. I've been doing a lot of painting lately. I wonder if maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 over here too, just for funsies. Thank you. Thank you for all the compliments. It makes me feel so good. How fun. I'm liking these birds. I'm liking the addition of these birds. I think I need some more, like a few just black trees. I'm getting a lot of people are saying that I should do a children's story. Maybe I'll do a time lapse thing. Would you guys like to see it live, or would you like me to just time lapse it? What would people be interested in seeing? I have a really dark black here to kind of really differentiate this tree. I think I'll do one over here too to kind of create like a framing effect.
Here's the 2 little sheep who cannot sleep. Oh, I'm getting glare from the window.
Yeah, so that was kind of my idea. I have a couple sketches of different options, different things that we could do. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cute if the 2 little sheep, you know, they can't sleep, so they decide to go visit the moon. The moon looks sad, and they find out she's cold, because it's cold up in space. So they decide to knit her a scarf. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I thought that might be kind of cute. Yeah, illustrations for the time lapse. Yeah, so I can do a combination of things if you guys want to see a children's story come together. I can do Facebook Lives like this, or I can do time lapses. I can do a combination of the 2. Whatever people would like to see. I would love to do a storybook, and I've been working on a poem for a while now, which I think would work well with for a children's story. Also, kind of subtle shout out to my mom, who always wants to write a children's story. She's been kind of inspiring me to do this. So right now, I'm just gonna brush away some of this salt. Oh no, I made a big smear. So, fun thing about watercolor, very easy to clean up messes. If I can. Oh. Sugar. We have smeared. Another thing that I've read you can do when stuff like this happens is a magic
Magic eraser, like those Mr. Clean things?
Yeah, the Mr. Clean magic eraser. Could you actually get the Mr. Clean magic eraser? We're gonna try it and see if I can. I accidentally just smeared a big thing of orange across the painting, you know, classic. So I'm gonna see if Mr. Clean magic eraser will take that off for me without damaging the paper too much.
So is this how the internet works? Like if I do this, do they have to send us money?
No.
Oh.
No, let us.
I thought we were rich now.
We'll probably just get a copyright strike. So, can you, Kyla Grady, can you get me some clean water, please?
Some clean water?
Yes. Assistant.
Minion.
Minion.
Jeeves.
He's basically, feel like you're like Vanna White, you know? Just be getting you up here to. Could you, oh, sorry, go ahead. You can turn a movie on for our daughter, our sweet child. Okay, we're going to try this magic eraser trick to see if this works. It's working. I might be damaging the paper a little bit, but that's okay. I think there's too much water. Okay, all right, I'm gonna leave it because I think it's at the point now where you won't notice it unless you're really looking. Okay. Lindsay made a comment there, but it's too long for me to see on my screen. Do you want to have a look and see what she said? Do you want to look on your computer?
Yeah, there'll be a delay. I know you probably have the story in mind, but it might be fun to do a Facebook Live and show us. Oh, I see. No, you can just click. And show us just the illustrations, and we try to guess what's happening via comment.
Oh, that might be fun. Okay, yeah. These are all things that we could do. So right now I'm just kind of going back in with a little bit of black mixed in with my blue just to kind of create some shadowing and some more texture and depth, just to create a little bit of interest so it's not just like such a flat color here in this oceany type scene. I also might just do some water drops in here just for fun.
I like the birds. They pop well against the orange.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do the orange background. I picture that they're kind of like pterodactyls or something. Because I don't want.
Because it is a weird Star Wars planet.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like these are pterodactyls. Like I don't want them to be normal birds. I feel like they need to be a little bit. So I struggle so much with painting water. I have tried countless water textures and I, for the life of me, cannot get them to the way I want them. I guess I'll just have to do more practice. I might actually go...
Looks like she's struggling, doesn't it?
I know, it's the thing, right? You always see your own mistakes. So one thing I read, which I thought was kind of cool, is that when you're painting something, your brain doesn't automatically see the illusion you're creating. So what happens is you look at it and all you see is your brush strokes and you can't see the illusion. So a lot of times I'll be doing a painting and I'll be sitting here being like, I hate this is not working for me. And I try not to be so defeatist, but honestly, that's what it feels like. You hate it. So then I just walk away and I say, okay, I'm just gonna walk away. And you give your brain kind of a chance to recalibrate. And then when you come back and look at it, you have fresh eyes and you're able to see the illusion that you've created. And it's really cool. Oh, I make it look easy. Thank you. Thank you. It's not easy. It's quite hard. Well, that's a lie. It is not actually as hard as you think. It's a lot of playing, and I've been practicing again. I've been painting almost every day, literally. So what I might do is I might go in and create some kind of surf-like wave-breaking stuff. And I'm just breaking out all my tricks here today. So this is a sea sponge. It's an artist's sponge, and it's really cool for creating water texture. Again, if you saw my Harbor Breton time lapse, I did it with a lot of the water texture and dirt sand texture with this. So I have a product here called Bleed Proof White, and it's from Dr. Martin, Paige Martin, and it's kind of like a thick white paint. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of it out here and just add it to my palette. You can also tint this with different colors. It's almost like a gouache or an acrylic, honestly. I'm sure that, like, if you ask anyone who's actually has more experience with art, they'll be able to tell you more about what it is. But you can also use Bleed Proof White to hide mistakes, like paint drops and stuff like that. So I'm gonna use my sponge. I got it wet. I'm gonna take a little bit of water off. And I'm gonna pick up some of the white. I'm gonna do a few test runs here. I don't have any paper handy, but let's do a few test runs here just to get some of that off. I don't know, I love the texture that this creates. Like, it's so cool. And you can do like big swoops and like all sorts of different stuff. And where it comes off the brush in different layers, it doesn't, like, look how cool that is.
I would be so scared of just ruining the whole thing.
Well, the thing about it is just paper. That was one of the things that got me started into this. Because again, it's so tempting to not start anything because you're afraid you're gonna ruin it. But it's just paper. At the end of the day, it's just a sheet of paper. It doesn't define you. It doesn't, like, it is not who you are as a person. It is just paper. And if it sucks, you learn something. What is that quote? Either you
win or you learn? Either
you win or you learn. And that's kind of what it's like. So whenever people ask me, like, how should I start, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've just been telling people, just start, it's just paper. Who cares? Just jump in, start doing, start creating. Oh, that was a bit much wet. Just dab a little bit of that off. Just the other side of the sponge here. Yeah, Bleed Proof Wipe is super fun. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop messing with this because I'm just messing with it now, and I think the more I mess with it, I'm just gonna end up not liking it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hop in here and try to blend out some of these watercolor lines from the watercolor pencil. I'm just gonna do that by wetting them and kind of dabbing just to kind of soften that line a bit because it's a bit harsh.
Matt's asking how long it takes you to do a painting on average.
It depends on the painting. Some paintings are as quick as 5 minutes. Some paintings are hours. It really depends. So one of my favorite styles lately has been this really loose abstract style where you wet the entire page down and then you just drop coloring. I'll probably do another live stream at some point and I'll show you guys that technique. I've done a couple time lapses. They're not up yet, but they're scheduled to come up on my YouTube channel. So you can follow me on there to see that. I wonder if I should just add paint to this because I don't really like how this is coming out. I'm just gonna add paint. Whatever, it's just paper, right? Like, whatever, what could happen? What's the worst that could happen?
YOLO. Do kids still say YOLO?
I'm sure our kids will, because
I don't think they will.
they probably won't until it's something new. Just a big fat brush and we'll just mess it up. Oh, we have a crying youngster.
What's up, kiddo?
Yeah, I'm happier with that.
Yeah, right, buddy? Tell the people. Tell them, I'm okay.
Hi, baby. What? Do you want Mom? We're almost done. I'm gonna do a little bit more texture and sign it, and then we're done. All right, well, I will brainstorm some stuff in the future for other live streams. In particular, I'm gonna play around with this children's book idea. Maybe I'll work on that tonight. Hi, Adam, thanks for tuning in. So this live stream will be up on Facebook and probably on Instagram and YouTube coming up in the next little bit. I just got to save it and edit it and do all that stuff. Where are all my micro markers? Oh. The last product I will plug, and I wish these guys would sponsor me, but I'm not big and popular enough yet. So these are Micron pens. These are permanent archival ink, And the cool thing about these is that you can draw over watercolor and paint over it and it doesn't bleed. So a lot of the illustrations I've been doing lately, like my flowers, some of my insects, I have done with this Micron pen, and it's a really, really fun way. It also adds kind of an illustrative effect, which is really cool. All is amazing, and my kids are very cute. I will admit my kids are adorable. All right, so I'm gonna say that this bad boy's done. I'm just gonna sign her. Okay. So we'll hold it up to the final effect. Da da da. Here is our scene. All right, so I say we're gonna log off there now and check us out on OG Watercolor on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're trying all the mediums, and you'll see more. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys.
Say bye, Isaac.
Bye.